संस्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of Bhagavad Gita. Before entering into the proper subject, we shall chant 2 verses from the meditation of Bhagavad Gita. All can join together. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsajarnoramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. We were studying the 15th verse of the 2nd chapter, which is Yam hinavyatayantete purusham purusharshabha samasukha dukha dhiram sama dukha sukha dhiram somrutatvaya kalpate. The man whom verily these sense objects and the senses, the experiences from them, whether it is favorable or unfavorable, do not afflict, O Arjuna, who is balanced in pain and pleasure, who is calm, whether it is pain or pleasure. He doesn't get agitated, steadfast. He only is fit for immortality. So in both of these verses in the 2nd chapter, that is the 14th, where we started with Matra Sprashastu Kaunteya, and this 15th verse, Yam hinavyatayante, we see that Lord Krishna is mentioning about the greatness of the mind control, the sense control, and especially the internal quality of ours that is called Tithiksha, forbearance. So we are discussing about this forbearance, I think from 4 classes or 4 hours we are discussing that. So it's very special because it is very needed for all of us. So who can be calm who can be quiet, who can be balanced in whatever might be the situation, whether it is favorable or unfavorable, loss or gain, profit or loss, or win or loss. Again, whatever might be the situation, he should be calm and quiet. Now, Vivekananda explains about this calmness of our mind in a very beautiful way. He tells, Swami Vivekananda tells about this character, this Tithiksha, or the calmness of the mind in this way. He tells, it is the level-headed man or woman, the calm man or woman of good judgment and cool nerves, of great sympathy and love, who does good work and so does good to himself. The fanatics is foolish and has no sympathy. He can never straighten the world, nor himself become pure and perfect. That is about the calmness or the balanced state of mind. Now, going further, in another place, Swami Vivekananda mentions about this beautiful character of a human being. Only the people of calmness can achieve a lot. Those people who are always in a hurry, burry, and showing off too much of rajas, they can't achieve much. Now, Swami Vivekananda tells, and further, the calmer we are, and the less disturbed our nerves, the more shall we love our work and ourselves and everybody and even God. We love, and the better will be our work. So now this calmness of the mind is achieved by this Tithiksha, forbearance. So that is what we are now discussing in great detail. Now we shall see, is this forbearance at the physical level, because we are talking about this not only at the physical level, but at the psychological level, at the emotional level too. But let us see, we are provided by nature about that resilience or the forbearance at even at the plant level, animal level, in the nature, everywhere it is there. In human beings, it has been provided immensely. But because of our too much of externalization of our mind and too much of going around the sense objects, we have forgotten our capacity. So we have to manifest that capacity. Do you know that lions only succeed in a quarter of their hunting attempts, which means they fail in 75% of their attempts and succeed only 25% of them. Despite this small percentage shared by most predators, they don't despair. See, this forbearance, this sahana is there in the carnivorous animals too. Only 75% they have the loss, they fail, but only 25% they win, they get the food. Despite this small percentage shared by most predators, they don't despair in their pursuit and hunting attempts. Now, the main reason for this is not because of hunger, as some might think, but it is the understanding of the law of the nature. What is that law of the nature? Law of wasted efforts. Law of wasted effort that have been instinctively built into animals. A law in which nature is governed. Half of the eggs of fishes are eaten away. Half of the baby bears die in the forest before puberty. Most of the world's rains go away wasted into the oceans and the seas, fall in the ocean. And most of the seeds of the trees are eaten by birds and other insects. Scientists have found that animals, trees, and other forces of nature are more receptive to the law of this wasted efforts. Only human beings think that the lack of success in a few attempts is failure. But the truth is that we only fail when we stop trying. For that we need immense patience, sahana, forbearance. That is what we are discussing now. Only humans think that the lack of success in a few attempts is failure. But the truth is that we only fail when we stop trying. Success is not to have a life free from pitfalls, dangers and falls, but success is to walk over your mistakes and go beyond every stage where your efforts were wasted, looking forward to the next stage. See, at the physical level, at the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom, at every stages of the nature, you see this forbearance. They go on. It is instinctively built. Do you think it is not there in us, this resilience and this strength of character whereby we can withstand the pains and miseries and the loss and everything problematic, the challenges of this life? We have more capacity. But we are not manifesting it. We are not using it properly. That's why this verse will help us, and going deeper into that aspect of this verse of the Bhagavad Gita will help us a lot. And now, success is not to have life free from pitfalls, challenges, dangers, but success is to walk over your mistakes and go beyond every stage where your efforts were wasted, looking forward to the next stage. If there is a phrase that summarizes this world, it will be simply continue all over again. So now I summarized this Tithiksha, or the forbearance, at the the worldly level or the external level, the present day context. Now we shall enter more deeper into this Bhagavad Gita. Now in this verse, Yam hinam vyatayante te purusham purusharshava samadukha sukha dhiram somrutatvaya kalpate. Lord Krishna, Arjuna, who is dejected, who is depressed, who has fallen down in his chariot, he doesn't want to fight because he is a warrior. He is a man, a commander of the army. Now, because of his depression and dejection, despondency, he doesn't want to perform his duty. So Lord Krishna is lifting his spirits so that you do your duty. For him, it is to fight the unrighteous people. For us, to fight the battle of our life. Our life is a constant fight with nature, external and internal. We are fighting with our own mind, with our own senses, with the circumstances outside in this external world. So now it is winter. How do you fight? Because it is so cold, you will start wearing sweater, you will be wearing caps, you will be making everything comfortable. See, that is also external and internal. The moment you start fighting, you die, says Swami Vivekananda. Now, what is Krishna telling Arjuna in this? Let us chant this verse again so that we can learn the verses too. Verse 15. Please repeat this verse after me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Yam hina vyatayante te, Yam hina vyatayante te, Purusham Purusharshabha, Purusham Purusharshabha, Samadukha Sukham Dhiram, samadukha sukham dhiram somrutatvaya kalpate somrutatvaya kalpate. The simple meaning of this verse, the man or woman whom verily these afflict not. These means the sense organs, the mind, and the problems outside in the world, all the circumstances, good or bad, they should not afflict him. O Purusharshaba, the best among the human beings, who is balanced, who is harmonious in pain and pleasure, steadfast, he is fit for immortality. What is mortality? Death. What is immortality? Who can win over death. That is immortality. So, a person who can go beyond these experiences and the senses, so he can also go beyond death. He is fit to receive this immortality. The highest, watching the TV always, no. That's not liberation or the heaven. So here, liberation is, mukti is eternal freedom. All of you are aspiring for freedom. Everyone, go and ask any youth, what do you want? They will tell, we want freedom. Wherever you go, they want freedom. An animal, it wants freedom. A molecule, an atom, an electron, it wants freedom. The electron is constantly trying to escape from the nucleus. See the planets, they are also trying to escape from the sun. So everybody wants freedom, you see. But now, once a youth, he went to Swami Ramakrishna, one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, when he was living in Chennai. Told Swamiji, we don't want your do's and don'ts of your religion. Then what do you want, my child? If you want don't want the do's and don'ts of the religion and all these scriptures, you elders tell, don't do that, don't do this, all that we don't want. Then what do you want, my child? He told, we want freedom. Everybody, all the youth, you ask them, they will tell, we want freedom. I want to be as I like. Now, he asks a beautiful, pertinent question. Swami Ramakrishna-Anandaji or Shishibhushan Chakravarti asks a beautiful question to this youth, my dear child. What kind of freedom do you want? Do you want freedom for the senses, or do you want freedom of the senses? Just think a little. What kind of freedom do we want? All of us want freedom for the senses. We want to live like animals. As our senses, our mind takes us outside and puts us into trouble, we just want to do everything, whatever they tell. We want to become the slaves of the senses. But what is freedom of the senses? Is you becoming the masters of your senses. You becoming the masters of your mind. We are now the slaves of our mind and senses. We just spin like the top as the indriyas or the senses or even milligrams of hormones in your body place you like monkeys and animals, you see. Non-living hormones put you into trouble. You can't control them. And what kind of masters are you? We have so many master degrees and other things. You don't have mastery on your own mind and body. What kind of mastery is this? That's what we have to become. Masters of our mind and masters of our senses. Then that is freedom. That is real freedom. So, by this following these disciplines, you get immortality or mukti, liberation, freedom means eternal freedom. You will be the masters. You will be controlling everything. So that is the highest thing, mukti. As we tell, don't have some concept of mukti means going to heaven, there riding a horse or sitting there with God and other things. No, you becoming God. You will raise yourself to the level of God. That is liberation. That is mukti. Perfect freedom. Eternal freedom. So that's why Lord Krishna is preparing us. An extroverted person focuses mainly on the sense organs and their contact with the sense objects. He develops endless desires for the acquisition and enjoyment of the worlds. These unfulfilled desires cause him mental agitation. He suffers sorrow in life, whereas an introverted person focuses his attention more on the inner self, the bliss, the sweetness, the power, infinite power which is already within him, than the outer objects and beings. He remains determined in his purpose to reach the self that is your true nature. He moves steadfastly on the path of self-realization, engrossed as he is in the higher being. You may call it God, you may call it consciousness, you may call it higher intelligence, call by whatever name you want. So, the true self of yours, the higher being, the sense objects do not affect him. He remains balanced in pain and pleasure. Such a person alone qualifies to get immortality, going beyond death, the ultimate state of self-realization or God realization. So, now here the things we were discussing all through was that what is real, what is unreal. So, we have the capacity called viveka, the power of discerning, the power of discrimination is there. God has given us that intelligence, that power. So now we have to use that power to know what is right, what is wrong, what is real, what is unreal, what is going to put us into problem, what will keep us in good stead. So therefore, anatman is, that is ephemeral, which will be constantly changing. Anatman, that is ephemeral. Now do not try to change the fact. What are we doing, all of us? We always want to change all the situation and circumstances and all the difficulties and make the ephemeral as continuous or permanent. The nature, by nature, this world is temporary, it is constantly changing. Our own body, within 7 years, all the cells change. And we were small babies, now we grew up as toddlers, and then primary, and now we have gone to high school, college, and now some people are old, then we will be tottering in our walking stick or crutches. We are also constantly changing, our ego is changing, our individuality is changing. So, why do we get into problem? Because we want to not to change. We want everything to be as I like. Then comes all the problem, pain. So, now, how can I now change the world? You cannot change the world. Then what shall I do? Change your attitude. What is change in attitude? Accept everything in this world as it is. There is a saying in English, accept people and situation as they are, not as, don't expect people as what they should be according to you. Accept, see the word, the difference, play of word. Accept people and situation as they are. Don't expect people as what they should be according to you. We are expecting and expecting and expecting, and that's why we get into trouble. Try to accept everything as they are. See, there will be so much of contentment. So, change in your attitude. That is Tithiksha. Accept the unreal as it is. Go on. Now, whether it is our body, whether it is the things which we like, or the people, everybody, everyone is unique. Everything is unique. Accept them as they are. Then you will see, you will enjoy everything. Because God has created this wonderful creation in the garden, the flower garden of the Lord, everything cannot be the same flower. If you want that everything should be the rose, red rose, then you can't enjoy this garden. Varieties of flower has been created by the God. Enjoy, accept them as they are. And if you accept the rose, then you have to accept the thorn also. It doesn't come without the thorn. The rose always comes with the thorn. So if you accept pleasure, then pain automatically comes. You cannot separate them. So everything is in duality in this world. So accept them as they are. Change your attitude. Then you see, you can enjoy this world as the experience comes to you. So therefore, that's what Krishna is telling in the last verse. Agama apayino anityaha. These things come and go. The troubles, whether it is pain or pleasure, everything in duality in this world, opposite, everything is duality, you see. Loss, gain, sukha, dukkha, heat, cold, everything is duality in this world. It comes and it goes. Just like I have given the example of in the railway station or in the aeroplane and the train, the bus, or the everything, they come and they go. Will you start worrying, oh, it came, it was so beautiful, now it is gone? Will you start crying and sobbing? No. It comes and it goes. Likewise, in our life too, difficulties and good opportunities, they come and they go. So do not be worried by that. Do not be crying over it. Do not sit and self-pity yourself. Oh, what happened to me? So much of difficulties came to me. The other guy is so happy. He is getting all the opportunities. No, count the blessings. Be happy. Be contented with what you are. Try to achieve. Put in your effort. So now, that is what he is telling. Agama apayino anityaha. These are all fleeting. Tam tithiksha bharata. Forbear. Learn this tithiksha, forbearance, endurance, the mental strength to withstand whether loss or gain. And if the mental strength is not there, what would we pray to the Lord? I cannot ask the Lord to change the law of this universe. If I go on asking to change, if everybody starts asking or praying the Lord that he should change the laws of this world, what will happen? Is it possible? Then there will be chaos in this cosmos. If everybody start asking that this everything should change, then there will be chaos, not cosmos. So God will be, not only we, God also will be confused, because each one will ask his own convenient law. Therefore, never pray to the Lord to change his law. Pray to the Lord to give you the inner strength to withstand everything, that is Tithiksha, Sahana Shakti. So that I can accept the arrivals, I can also accept the departure. That is called Tithiksha. And Lord Krishna says, without Tithiksha, you cannot go beyond this birth and death. You cannot win over death. The self-knowledge, your true nature, the knowledge of your true nature, the knowledge of this whole universe, you can get it. It's not possible. That is called moksha, or eternal freedom is not possible if you don't gain this wonderful quality called Tithiksha. Now, going forward, thinking about this Tithiksha, we have talked about this Tithiksha or forbearance for a long time. But let us see how to get it. See, we have to start from where we are. So we should know everything step by step. Now we will take the help of Swami Vivekananda. Now, to get this Tithiksha, there are some more earlier steps. We have to go step by step. Now the baby is at the lower step and it is to cover the 50th step. Will the baby jump to the 50th step? No, it may break its bones or it may be hurt. So baby will focus on the next step to climb. So what is the step by which you have to reach this higher quality called Tithiksha? Now Vivekananda takes us through. He tells, first among the qualification required of the aspirant for knowledge or wisdom comes Shama and Dama, which may be taken together. They mean keeping of the organs in their own centers without allowing them to stray out. Now we shall go to see what is this Shama. In the scriptures it is given and especially explained by one of the greatest acharyas, Shankaracharya. He tells, Virajya Vishayavratat Doshadrishtya Muhurmuhu Swalakshe Niyatavasta Manaha Shama Uchyate. Detaching the mind from manifold sense pleasures, again and again perceiving their pernicious character, resting it permanently on one's own objective is said to be Shama. Now many people, you ask the student to ask them question, everybody will be always asking, Swamiji, how to get concentration of mind? How to get concentration of mind? Now that is the thing, the step, Shama, Dhamma, the steps, how you can get concentration of mind, that is being explained here by Swami Vivekananda. At another place, Swami Vivekananda tells, concentration is the essence of all knowledge. Nothing can be done without this concentration of the mind. Why? Why should we have this concentration? Swami Vivekananda tells, 90%, all of us, 90% means all of us, in us, no, you can tell 100%, all of us are wasting 90% of our energy. In what way? 90% of our thought force is wasted by the ordinary human beings, and therefore we are constantly committing mistakes, blunders. But the trained mind or the trained human being, he will never make mistakes. When the mind is concentrated and turned inwards, backwards, just like the searchlight or the laser beam, now turn it on your own mind, focus on your own mind. That is called meditation. Backward and itself, all within us will be our servants, not our masters. The Greeks, tell Swami Vivekananda, you know the Greeks. So from there, the Western philosophy and everything that is Western came up from the Greeks. The origin is in the Greeks, then Romans, and now you see the Europeans, and now in America. So that is called the Western concept. And everything that is East is the Indian concept. Now, the Greeks, says Swami Vivekananda, applied their concentration to the external world, and the result was perfection in art, literature, and all the other things you see now. The Hindu concentrated on the internal world, that is his own mind, upon the unseen realms in the self, and developed the science of yoga. Yoga is controlling your own senses, your will, and your mind. The benefit of its study is that we learn to control instead of being controlled. What is the use of learning this yoga and concentrating our mind and turning it inwards? So instead of being controlled, you can control this whole world and your mind too. Mind seems to be layer on layer. Our real goal is to cross all these intervening strata of our being and find the truth. The end and aim of yoga is to realize this truth. So you may call, some people may call it as God, some people may call it as truth, some people may call it as knowledge, whatever. Now we have come to know what is Shama. What is that Shama? Detaching the mind from manifold sense pleasure again and again, perceiving their pernicious character, resting it permanently on one's own objective. The next come the other step, that is called Dhamma. What is this Dhamma? Here Shankaracharya explains about this Dhamma. The retention of both kind of senses. We have two kind of senses. What is this? The organ of senses, that is, which gives you the knowledge of the external world, and the organs of action. The sense organs and organs of action. So 5 sense organs and 5 the organs of action. So they are 10 together. So whatever you see, so here the retention of both kind of senses in their respective orbs without withdrawing them from the sense object is spoken of as Dhamma. It's very difficult, isn't it, to understand this. So to make it more easy, let us take the help of Swami Vivekananda. So here he is telling, I shall explain to you first the word organ. What is meant by sense? Here are the eyes. The eyes are not the organs of vision, but only they are instrument. Then what are the real organs then? Unless the organs also are present, I cannot see, even if I have the eyes. But given both the organs and the instrument, unless the mind attaches itself to these two, no vision will take place. So, in each act of perception, 3 things are necessary. First, the external instruments, then the internal organs, and last, if any one of them be absent, then there will be no perception, you can't see. Thus, the mind acts through 2 agencies, one external and the other internal. The external is instrument, the internal is the organ. When I see things through the eyes, my mind goes out. It becomes externalized. But suppose I close my eyes and begin to think, the mind does not go out. It is internally active. But in either case, there is the activity of the internal organ. When I look at you and speak to you, both the organ and the instruments are active. When I close my eyes and begin to think, the organ, the internal organ is active, but not the instrument. See, now you are sitting here, you are hearing and seeing and thinking of this class. Outside, the vehicle sound is going, the vehicles are going on in the freeway. The sound is coming, but you are not aware of it at all, because you are not attaching your organ, that is the ear, to them. Why? Because you are attaching to the sound which is coming in the sound system here, and you are concentrating your mind here. So even though you can hear the sound there coming outside from the freeway, it is not heard to you. So many other things are going on, so many things are there, but since you are not allowing that to happen, it is not known to you. The perception is not there. That is what now Swamiji is explaining here. When I close my eyes and begin to think, the organs are active, but not the instruments. Without the activity of these organs, there will be no thought. You will find that none of you can think without some symbol. In the case of the blind man, he has also to think through some figures or pictures. The organs of sight and hearing are generally very active, the eyes and your ears. You must bear in mind that by the word organ is meant the nerve center in the brain. The eyes, which you are seeing outside, and the ears are only the instruments of seeing and hearing. And the real organs are inside in the brain center. If the organs in the brain center are destroyed by some means, even if his or her eyes or ears be there, we shall not see or hear. So, in order to control the mind, so now comes, why are we studying all these things? Why are we internalizing? Why are we now becoming introverts? To control the mind. So, Vivekananda comes to the point which is very useful. In order to control our mind, we must first be able to control these organs. What are the organs? The brain center. So, for the hearing, in one part of the brain, that brain center is there. For the seeing, here it is all, you know, that the retina and the pupil will make it so small, it is total internal reflection. Whatever I am seeing here, I am seeing it goes, if you have seen pinhole camera, you will see that in the pinhole camera, if the flame is there, the flame will be reflected there in the reverse. Likewise, whatever I see, now it is reflected inside the eyes there in the reverse. It is all caught there in the reverse. But are you seeing everything reverse way? No. You see it everything Siddha. Right. How is that? Because when it goes to through the optic nerve to the brain, everything is taken as right. So see the wonder of our organs, everything is there. Understanding that, internalizing all these things, now you will see what is the real organ is in the brain. It's a nerve center. These external things, there may be good, some may be having some powers, there may be some, maybe myopic or whatever, this short-sighted or long-sighted. So there are so many defects, but everything can be rectified. Finally, the only thing that should be correct is the internal one, the internal organ. So that is the real organ, says Swami Vivekananda. So in order to control the mind, we must first be able to control these organs, the internal organs, to restrain the mind from wandering outwards or inwards and keep the organs in their respective centers is what is meant by the word Shama and Dhamma. That is control of mind, that is concentration of mind. Shama consists in not allowing the mind to externalize. And what is Dhamma? In checking the external instruments. See now, it's so clear. Otherwise, we will be always asking the question, what is concentration of mind? What is concentration of mind? But we do not know what is our mind, what is our organs, how to concentrate. Now we are going step by step, step by step. What is Shama? Consisting not allowing our mind to externalize. And Dhamma in checking the external instrument. Now, next comes the next step just before Tithiksha. The total forbearance. Before that comes one more step in Vedanta, in our scriptures, that is called Uparati. What is this Uparati? Uparati consists in not thinking of things of the senses. Daydreaming. Your eyes may be closed, your ear may be closed, you will be sitting in the classroom, but you are not at all focusing on the subject, but you will be daydreaming, thinking, enjoying something which you have already enjoyed earlier. I had gone to that restaurant, I had gone to this hill station, I had gone to that falls. So you will be daydreaming, imagining things and daydreaming. That is called Uparati. See, these are all blocks to concentration. First one, I told Shama, Dhamma, not externalizing our mind, then controlling our instruments, the external instrument. Now finally comes Uparati, which consists in not thinking of things of the senses which you have already enjoyed or undergone. Most of our time. See, why are we committing mistake? Why are we not getting concentration of mind? Because most of our time is spent in thinking about the things which you have already experienced, sense objects, things which we have seen, things which we have heard. So all the five, we have 5 organs, sense organs. What are they? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. So all of them are pouring in so many experiences every millionth of the second. They are pouring in. They tell one organ is enough to kill an insect. What is that? They have multi eyes. So the moth and other insect, they get attracted toward the fire and it dies. The deer, smell, the musk, the deer, it goes and it gets. What about the elephant? The touch, the skin. Like that, different animals, they are killed by one sense, strong sense organs. In the human being, all 5 senses are very, 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 very strong. Then how many times we are killed, you see? That's why we don't get concentration of mind at all. Now, here we have experienced, we have seen, we have heard so many things. Most of our time is spent in thinking about the sense objects, things which we have seen, things we have heard, which we shall see in future. We will be imagining everything, or we shall hear through all our sense organs, the 5 sense organs. So things which we have eaten or eating, or we shall eat, places where we have lived and so on. We think of them or talk of them, and most of our time we spend like this. That's why we don't get concentration of mind. And Uparati is pulling your mind from all these thoughts, don't allowing them to get this picturization, vritti, and focusing on the object which you want, whether you are studying a subject or whether you are thinking of God, whether you are thinking of your own Atman or doing any work. So focusing on that is Uparati, not allowing for daydreaming. Most of the time, you see, you'll be doing some work, you'll be eating some food, your mind will be somewhere thinking of something. That's not allowing you to concentrate. 1 second you cannot concentrate. And you think you are masters of so many things, and you get so many master degrees, and you get so many 360 degrees. What is the use of all the degrees? When you can't focus your mind for a second, and you think you are the masters. Where are we? Where do we stand? See, this wonderful thing called yoga and Bhagavad Gita teaches us, takes us step by step and tells us where we are, what are we to do. So that is Uparati. So one who wishes to be a Vedantin or a yogi must give up this habit of daydreaming or Uparati. Now, after this thing that is Uparati comes Tithiksha. What is this Tithiksha? Vivekananda tells preparation. It is hard task to be a philosopher. Tithiksha, the most difficult of all. It is nothing less than the ideal forbearance. A man may say very harsh thing to me, and I may not outwardly hate him for it, may not answer him back, and may restrain myself from apparently getting angry. But anger and hatred may be in my mind. See, that is Uparati. Outside, externally, you will behave very nicely, you will not get angry, you will not react. But internally, you will be boiling. That is Uparati. You will be thinking of how shall I take the revenge? The next opportunity, how shall I harm him? So, that is not forbearance. A man may say very harsh thing to me, and I may not outwardly hate him for that, may not answer him back, and may restrain myself from apparently getting angry. But anger and hatred and revengeful attitude may be in my mind, and I may feel very badly towards that man or woman. That is not non-resistance or forbearance. I should be without any feeling of hatred. Even if somebody makes a comment or hurts me through criticism or any other experiences. So, what is Tithiksha? What is that ideal forbearance? Even if something happens, then I should be without any feeling of hatred or anger, without any thought of resistance. My mind must then be as calm as if nothing had happened. And only when I have got to that state have I attained to non-resistance, and not before. So this hatred, this thing of jealousy, this thing of revengeful attitude should be given up. Otherwise, it will burn you from within. A teacher did an experiment. She called all her students. She asked all the students to bring 1 or 2 kg of tomato and a plastic cover. So the tomato should be not very ripened. So now she told, on each tomato, write all the things whom you don't like. Write the names of all the people whom you don't like, you hate, you want to take revenge, and you are so angry with somebody. On all the tomatoes you start writing their name. Yes, very happy. So they start writing, all that hatred is coming out, writing on the tomato. Put it in the plastic cover, tie it, okay. Every day you have to bring that tomato to the school and observe it. So all that plastic cover was bought. One day, okay, it is ripening, it is still hard. Second day, they have to keep it in the house, not to keep it in the refrigerator, they have to keep by the side. It is now becoming soft. The third day, it has almost become tomato ketchup. And third day, fourth day, it is all coming out and it is stinking, bad smell. Fifth day, they cannot withstand. Now when they took that cover for the 6th day, the mother and father are feeling that bad stench and smell of that cover, and they are now asking them to throw it away. No, our teacher has told to bring that. We are not going to throw it. Then all the parents went to the school complaining, what kind of a project work is this you have given to? Then after the 7th day, when it was unbearable, then the teacher told, see, just to keep that name, the tomatoes, with all that hatred and other things for 7 days, you had so much of trouble. You are keeping all these hatred of so many people and so many things in your heart for whole of your life. What would be the stench and bad smell in your heart, in your mind? Just focus on it. What is the immeasurable rot which is happening in your heart? Can you imagine? Just for 7 days or 8 days, if the tomato is rotting, you cannot bear it. What is happening in your heart, in your mind? How much of hatred, how much of jealousy, how much of revenge attitude you're waiting? And what is the burning which is happening? That comes out in the form of all the toxins is coming out in the form of your diseases. Ask the doctors. 90% of all your diseases is psychosomatic, mind related. 90% of your diseases. Even you get skin diseases from the worries and the hatred and anger, you can get that. So how careful you should be. See how helpful all these things are. To analyze, introspect, go back inwards and see, watch your mind, then correct it. Bring out all these things. So that is Tithiksha. No hatred, no anger, no revengeful. It is not for the sake of the wellness of the world or wellness of the person whom you are hating. It is for your own good. It will save you, not the other person. What is hatred? What is jealousy? It is the poison which you wanted to give it to others. The anger, the hatred and the jealousy is the poison which you wanted to give it to others to kill, but you are taking yourself with it. So you can see what is happening within you. So that is Tithiksha. That is ideal forbearance. Forbearance of all miseries, without even a thought of resisting or driving it out, without even any painful feeling in the mind or any remorse. This is Tithiksha. So we have already studied this Tithiksha a lot. So I just brought you through some steps of Tithiksha. So through how this Tithiksha is controlled or how you can get it, I took you through. First was Shama, control of your senses, Dhamma, Uparati, all that thing. And now comes, it will be easy for you to practice Tithiksha with these qualities. I took you step by step. Now we shall, I think we have already completed our time. I shall just conclude my talk on this. Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Tithiksha. So this acceptance, this forbearance of everything, what is happening, whatever might be the dualities you are facing in this world. And also, I have told many times how to convert the challenges, the problems into opportunities, the calamity into opportunities. That will be the great thing from this Tithiksha. If your mind is calm, quite balanced, then even calamities, even depression, worries, all the difficulties in your life, you can convert it into opportunities. That is the help of this Tithiksha. So acceptance. What is the benefit that you get it? Na vyatayante. You will not get pain. You will not be troubled. You will not feel the miseries. All the miseries is because of that. So, see, you are getting so much of benefit out of this. They do not disturb the person who has this Tithiksha. They do not disturb our mind, irritate us. Then, how is that they do not irritate us? Because when a beautiful rose blossoms, the person appreciates the rose. It is not that he is blindly, in the name of philosophy, he will reject it. No. He does not run away from it. He appreciates the beautiful rose as even it blooms. And when the rose starts fading, withering and falling off, he will accept that also with grace. That is Tithiksha. When it blooms, he will enjoy the color, the rose or the flower which is blooming. And when it withers away, he will enjoy that too. He will not be disturbed by that. Accepting everything as it is, without complaining, without judging. No judgment, without complaint. That rose is fading. Rose has to fade. Similarly, any situation, any person in your life who comes to you have to depart. You cannot keep them permanently. We give this example in India about the train, because you don't know much of train journey in South Africa. Very less of train journey here. But in India we have lot of train journey. So we get into the compartment station where we get into the train, and then we will be sitting there. There will be reservation. The seats will be there. The next person comes, and we befriend him. We eat together. Then we have to travel for 2 days, 3 days from Bangalore to Delhi or Delhi to Calcutta. We have to travel for 2 days, 3 days. So we become close friends. We talk. We share feelings. And another person comes in the next station. Another person in the next station. Finally, when Delhi comes, this close person who has come with me talking, he has become so close to me, he has to depart. Another station, another person has to depart. Likewise, in our lives too, as we are born in this compartment journey, we get in our father and mother, brothers and sisters. Then your children, wife and children and grandchildren, when their station comes, they have to depart. Nobody can stop. In that process of evolution, they have to depart. When your station comes, you have to get down. You have to accept it. That is the journey. This life journey is like that. If you start crying, oh, they are going away, nothing can be done. You have to accept everything. See, now this is the preparation. You prepare for your life, for your old age. You'll do all sorts of insurance, You will do all sorts of claims and so many other. Have you prepared now for this departure and arrivals? You are not prepared anything at all. So this is the preparation which Lord Krishna is doing. It's nothing religious, nothing religion here. It's just preparation for our next journey, when we have to get down when our station comes. So we will not get irritated by the troubles of this world. So this is one method, and there is another method. What is that? You will be made a fit shock absorber. You know shock absorbers in the vehicle? So if you are going in the vehicle near the tires or something, you see that shock absorber. If you are going, there will be a lot of potholes, there will be so many problems on the road. So the shock absorber will allow this vehicle to move without any problem. Likewise, this Tithiksha, this acceptance, will make your journey smooth on this road of life. Similarly, you can change can you change every person around you? Can you change everything around you? Can you change your neighbor? Can you change the driver or the taxi driver who will be irritated by his driving? No, you cannot change. But what can you change? You can change yourself. You can change your attitude. Then the whole world changes. So with one small incident or this thing, I will stop this thing, how we have to accept everything. Now, I gave the example already, I have given that example, but again it will be suitable here. Suppose you like some color. Is it practical that you like that color, you are so fanatic about that color, you will be painting everything in your house that color. You want everything. The glass to be painted that color, the wall to be painted the same color, the ground and everything. That will irritate your parents, your other brothers and sister, but you want that to be painted. Okay, somehow you will manage that. Now you have to paint the compound, you want to paint the ground, the road, the neighbor's compound, the whole world you want to convert it into that color. Will it happen? No. You may like that color, somebody may not like it. So they may oppose, there will be fight, then there will be irritation, there will be fight and complaints, and you have to go to the jail. But if you like that color, there is a method by which you can change the whole world into that particular color you like. How is that? By wearing a spectacle or a glass of that color, you can see the whole world that color. So where was the change? Was it without? It was within. So the change has to happen always within, not without. This world is just like a dog's curly tail. It never changes. The world was like this thousands of years back. The world was like this hundreds of years back. Now in future it will be the same. Good and bad exist. But how can I be happy? How can I be not disturbed by the happenings of the world? By changing myself. As Swami Vivekananda puts it, this world is a gymnasium. I have come here to become strong. Will you go to the gymnasium and try to make the bull worker and the gym strong? Or after working out in the gymnasium, you will stand in the mirror and see whether you have become strong. Will you see the gymnasium has become strong? The bull worker and the instruments have become strong, the dumbbells have become strong after the gymnasium workout? What will you do? You will go stand in front of the mirror and see whether you have become strong. So the change is always within, not without. So if you change your attitude, so you can accept everything, and everything, the whole world will change. That's what the neuroscientist, our Usha Vastarema, in her neuroscience class, neuroplasticity, she used to tell again and again, if you change the way you look at the world you look at will change. So we will conclude this class on Tithiksha. Some more things. We will talk about this wonderful quality which we have to gain in the next class too, and go to the next verse after that. We shall conclude this session with one of the chanting of the meditation verses of Bhagavad Gita. ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।